This incident took place in the distant 50s. My grandmother lived in a village, already married and with a little daughter. And next door to her lived two sisters, younger than my grandmother by a couple of years. The older one was Tama, and the younger one was Masha. Beautiful, enviable brides. And they fell in love with the same guy. Misha liked the older Tamara. He began to visit her, to walk her home from dances, and after a while to talk about the wedding. The parents of the bride and groom were not against it. They began to prepare for the wedding just after the fall work. In November, they planned the wedding, and Masha could not find a place for herself. Tormented by unrequited love, she couldn't accept that her beloved would marry someone else, even if it was her sister. On the eve of the wedding, Masha came to Michael and opened up to him. She asked him not to marry Tom, that she would always love him and do everything for him. Misha, of course, answered her that she loved Tamara and let her not say such things anymore. She was still young. She would love him and marry him safely. He promised not to tell Tamara about this conversation. Masha was tormented by it even more. Tamara was a very beautiful bride at the wedding. People from neighboring villages came to watch the wedding. It was so good and merry. Everyone was happy for the young people and wished them happiness. Only Masha suffered and cried quietly. Everyone thought that she was shedding tears because she would have to part with her sister and live separately. Only Mikhail averted his eyes. He understood everything. When the wedding was over, the guests dispersed, and the young went to the room. Mashka crept to the bedroom window. Toma and Misha were preparing to go to bed. When Masha saw Misha kissing her sister, she whispered in her heart, "Damn you, may you not live together for a long time. May your husband die, and your husband die, and your wife never be happy again. May your children be born sick and bring no joy to their parents." She whispered this and ran away. The continuation of this story happened 40 years later. Once my grandmother came to her village to visit her relatives' graves and saw an old woman in the cemetery. She was sitting on a bench and was silent. The grandmother barely recognized in this old woman, dressed in rags, the same Masha, her neighbor. She had not seen her of so many years and did not know about her fate. She approached her, talked to her. Masha remembered her. They began to talk about life. Grandmother told about herself, about her children and grandchildren. Masha told her story about her sister and Misha, about the wedding, and then told her the following. My life has turned out very badly. I have a terrible sin on me. I wished my sister harm at the wedding, and it turned against me. Thank God everything turned out well for Tamara. I married a nice guy, but our life didn't work out right away. I gave birth to 3 sons, but my husband died 4 years after the wedding. He crashed drunk on a tractor. My eldest son was born sick. He didn't live long. He died at the age of 7. My middle son drowned at the river when he was 3 years old. The youngest remained, Seryoshka. I took care of him. I did everything I could. I never married, although it was very hard to raise a child alone. And I haven't had much luck with men. Seryoshka's grown up. He's a bum, sitting on my neck. He's been tried 5 times, beats me, demands my pension. I'm afraid to live. Yes, you are paying for your words, Maria. God has punished you, said the grandmother. I punished myself, answered Masha. When I whispered those words, I looked at them, and it turned out that there was a mirror in the room. I even remember how I looked in the mirror and only saw my reflection. So it turns out that I told myself my fate. My words were reflected. Do you know what my last wish was? For Tama to die by the hand of her child. It turns out that soon I'll have to wait for the death of my son. Maria said that, got up from the bench and left. Grandmother sat on the bench for a long time and thought about how things might happen in life. You must not wish evil to anyone, or it may boomerang back to you.